Are you ready for our lesson today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. I love the enthusiasm. Okay, so if you could all please flip to the glossary of our book that we're reading this month.
I'm already on.
Great. What's the
Page
name of the book?
20.
A landform.
A Landform's
A
Adventure.
Landform's Adventure.
That's right. And last week, we took a pre-test, didn't we? And that
Yeah.
was kind of tricky because we haven't read the book, so we didn't know some of the answers.
Did we have to say the answers that we thought?
Yeah, you just put the answers that you thought. It was an educated guess,
Oh,
right?
Yes, it was.
I like doing the pre-test.
Yeah, but what's really exciting is taking the post-test and seeing how we did, right? Okay, so are we all on the glossary, page 20?
I'm on
Yeah.
sorry.
Great.
I'm on it.
Thank you, boys. So, Mateo, will you please read the first vocabulary word for us?
Basin. Noun. Depression from a low area of the surface.
A basin. So that's a depression or low area in Earth's surface. So it's kind of like a bowl, a basin. It dips down. A low area. You're not there yet? Page 20.
And I'm on top. You want me to read that one?
Yeah. Matthew, do you mind if Ethan reads number 2?
Why?
Because he's already there.
Because I'm already on Delta.
Cool.
And then you'll do deposits. How's that?
Good.
What's going
Okay.
to be?
So Ethan, let's listen to him.
Alright. An area of land shaped like a triangle formed by sediment at
Sediment.
the mouth of a river.
A delta is another word for triangle.
What's a P there? What's that P there? P19.
That says page 19. All right. Matthew, let's learn about deposits.
I forget what that means, so I'm going to go ahead and deposit B. Or deposit. Sets down a amount of a substance such as sediment on a surface or area.
So sediment is like dirt or rocks or things on the ground. All right, I'm going to read the next one. Erosion, the natural removal of rock or soil by water, wind, or ice. So erosion is when water, wind, or ice breaks down pieces of a rock.
Ooh, can I read that word? G-R-G-O-O. George?
A gorge.
Gorge.
Yep, you read that one. A gorge, Matthew, go ahead. Yep, Miss Becky's going to get it. That's okay. Hello? Yep. You want to read that for us? You want me to read it?
Volunteer to come in.
Okay.
Now,
Okay, I'll send it again.
along
Oh, no, I put it in volunteer.
valley
Yeah. Are you free? Can I come up?
surrounded by higher land.
So a gorge is a long, deep valley surrounded by higher land.
By higher
So-
land.
A gorge is down in a hole almost.
Ooh, interesting.
Yep, and then there's land on the sides of it. All right, interstate. We know this one.
Yes, we do.
Mateo, will you read that one for us?
A main highway that runs through or would say.
Great. And what interstate are we going to be learning about today?
I-90.
I-90. Yep.
It's
All right.
nice.
Isthmus. Mateo.
It's
A narrow
So that's almost like a bridge, right? It's connecting two large land masses. That's just a funny word for a bridge. Isthmus.
Isthmus.
But it's not man-made, it's land. It's part of the earth. All right, Ethan, would you like to read the next one?
Landforms. Natural formation on Earth's substance such as valleys,
Plateaus.
mountains, plains, or hills.
All right. Peninsula. Matthew, would you like to read that?
Peninsula. Noun. A long piece of almost completely surrounded by water.
Guess what, guys?
What?
I know a lot about peninsulas
Why?
because I lived on a peninsula for 23 years.
No wonder why you know so much about peninsulas.
23
No
years.
wonder.
Florida? Florida?
Florida's a peninsula. That's right.
So the whole state is a peninsula.
Yep. And we'll feel on our map when we talk about the road. We're gonna feel the peninsula also. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Plateau. I'm gonna read this one.
Plateau.
Plateau, a large raised area of flat land. So a plateau is a big piece of flat land, and then it drops off at the end.
Plateau.
Mm-hmm. All right, two more. I'm going to read the last two so we can get going, okay?
Yeah.
Tectonic plates. The large sheet of rock, or the large sheets of rock that make up Earth's crust. So tectonic plates, we're going to read about those. They move. The Earth is constantly changing.
What do you mean? Well, I know it changes. Like
Yeah.
how it, how does it change? I mean, I know it spins.
The tectonic plates are moving under us very, very, very slowly, so we can't feel them moving.
Oh.
Yeah. And we'll learn more. So when tectonic plates move, if they crash into each other or if they slide by each other, that's how we get landforms like volcanoes or
Wow.
mountains or even earthquakes.
I'm so fascinated right now. I
Pretty
don't know why.
interesting, isn't it? All right, we're going to read the last vocabulary word, which is terrain.
Try.
The natural features of a piece of land, the ground. So what's the terrain like in Massachusetts?
A T?
What's the ground like? Is it flat? What were you going to say, Ethan?
I was going to say pavement.
Well, yeah, but that's man-made. So the
Oh.
terrain is the ground that just happens because of the way the earth is. So
Yeah.
in Massachusetts, it's not too flat. There's some mountains. We've got hills, kind of bumpy.
How about in Florida?
Florida's very flat. The terrain is very flat in Florida.
Why?
It's just the way it is. I actually don't know the answer to that. Maybe that's something we can ask Siri.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, boys. Now let's flip to the table of contents.
Would it be okay if I heard the video after?
Of course, but let's focus on the lesson. How's that?
Good.
All right. Are we all on table of contents?
Yeah.
Matthew,
Road.
page 4,
Right.
please.
Page 4.
Yep.
I'm gonna do a text.
Oh, I was on the table of contents.
I'm sorry. Yeah, page 3.
I was like, okay.
Whoop. You caught me slipping.
Yeah.
Are you there, Mateo?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, come
I
on, it
said
wasn't
that.
found. Come on.
Page 3. Ethan, are you there?
Yeah, the first word is road.
Yep.
Why don't you
Page
just,
4.
Page 3.
why don't you just go to the top of document?
Oh, I did that. Good idea.
Oh, I like the way you are helping each other. And how funny. So, Ethan, now you know about the Bransons, and you and Matthew can help each other.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm just.
All right. Let's get back to the lesson. Table of contents. Page 4, road trip. Page 5, in class. Page 9, getting ready to leave. Page 10, on the road.
10.
Page 19, one landform to go. And then page 20, the glossary.
Glossary.
All right,
Page 4.
Yeah.
page 4. Before we read that, we're going to look at this map.
Yay!
There's 2 of them. So, Mateo, why don't you look at the first one? You feel the wiki sticks?
Yeah.
Why don't you find Boston all the way in the top right corner where the wiki stick starts? So that's where Interstate 90 starts. I-90. And what's an interstate?
A road like that connects all states.
Close. It's a road that connects more than 2 states.
2 or more.
2 or more. Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah.
All right, so Mateo, you're at Boston. Why don't you follow the interstate all the way to the end, and I'll tell you where it ends. You're gonna find your way back to Boston at the top right, and then follow along the wiki stick. You're traveling across the U.S. You're going through Massachusetts, through New York and Pennsylvania, Ohio,
Pennsylvania.
Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, and Washington, where you finally end up in Seattle. So, Ethan, would you like to
Well,
see
why do
it?
you go through the Midwest and I-90? I thought you just go from east to west.
So, you got to cross through the Midwest before you get to the West. All right? Mateo, can I have that, please? Thank you. Let's let Matthew see it.
Matthew.
Here you go, Matthew. Why don't you find where Interstate 90 starts in Boston?
In the sides. It's
Oh.
right there.
Oh, this is the wiki stick.
Did you find where it started in Boston, Ethan? Boston is all the way in the top right. That's where Boston is. Did you find it, Matthew?
Boston is
And guess what, guys?
What?
Interstate 90 is the longest interstate in the United States.
Oh, in the United States,
In
thank
the
God.
whole-
I thought,
Oh, you thought the whole world?
yeah, I thought the whole world.
Oh no, in the whole
I thought
United
every
States.
interstate was big.
Yeah, well, they're big, but they're not this big. It's 3,020 miles.
Holy
Whoa!
cats!
Holy cats is right. So if you feel, Ethan, feel on top of my hands. This is all the way across the United States. It goes across the whole country. Can you imagine
Oh my
taking a road
God.
trip that way?
I mean, well, that'd be long.
It would be long. So I can't wait to read our story and see what the girl thinks of her road trip.
Yeah.
Do you want to find the peninsula, Florida? All the way at the bottom. Matthew, can you find the peninsula?
Yes, sir.
What's this smooth part right
That's
here?
it, right here.
What's this smooth part though?
It's flat. Matthew, I'm feeling Florida. Do you want to feel it with me?
Florida.
That's a peninsula. So do you see 1, 2, 3 sides are covered with water?
And what's this flat part? Down
That's
south.
Mexico.
Why does it have no buggy?
Because this is just focusing on the United States. Will you pass that map to Mateo, Matthew, so that he can feel the peninsula? Here you go, Mateo. My hand's on the peninsula. Do you feel it? Do you feel how there's 1 side, 2 sides, and 3 sides covered with water? There's a lot of beaches where I live. All right, boys, so now let's start reading. Ethan, I'm going to take this from you now. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
I hope the person that that receives the film.
Yes, we're
Thinks that it
talking,
doesn't.
we're talking about the lesson. Page 4, is everybody there?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to start reading. Road trip.
Right tree.
I live in Boston, and
Oh.
I just found out that I'm going on a road trip. My parents and I will spend part of the summer driving on Interstate 90 all the way to Seattle. We just felt that trip.
Yeah.
That's going to be a long time.
Yeah.
My mom told me
Oh,
that
yeah.
we're going to see some amazing landforms along the way. What kind of landforms do you think they'll see, you guys?
Volcanoes,
Mountains, definitely.
Yeah.
What else?
I think some of the places there might be like some of the places they might go. They might have a lot of campsites.
Yeah, that's
I
not a
like-
landform,
that's where
but yeah, camping.
That's where I might want to live.
So let's see what they
Where,
might see.
Seattle?
Along the way, we'll see mountains, plains, rivers, lakes, and lots more. My class is learning about our planet and the forces that create different landforms. It'll be so great to see some landforms in real life. One more week of school and we'll be off. All right, page 5.
So I have a question.
Yes, Matthew.
What is this kind of called? Like, is this called? What's the study of this? Geology, is it? I thought it was geology. What's
Geography, I believe.
No, I mean the study about the landforms and the volcanoes and stuff.
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. So let's save all our questions till the end. How's that? And then we'll look them up. Okay? All right, are we on page 5?
Page 5.
Okay.
Class.
In class, my teacher, Mr. Lopez, explained that Earth is like a hard-boiled egg. Guess what? I've got an Earth in front of me. You want to feel it, Matthew? Here's the Earth, or our hard-boiled egg.
Okay, so why would it be like a hard-boiled egg? Because an egg isn't shaped like a ball.
No, but you know how when you have a hard-boiled egg, you crack off the shell, right? You peel the shell,
Yeah.
and then you've got the white part, and then you've got the yolk. I think it's just giving an example, as there's different layers, and each layer is something different. Right?
Well,
Okay.
Why does it crack here?
Well, I'll show you once we keep reading. Here, let's keep following along, and we'll show you after, okay? Earth's core, like the yolk, is in the middle. The outer core is liquid, and the inner core is solid metal. Both parts are incredibly hot.
Oh.
Earth's mantle, which is like the white of the egg, is made up of weak rock. It moves very slowly because it's very hot. Almost hot enough to melt, but not quite. Alright, I'm on page 6. Earth's crust is like the cracked shell of the hard-boiled egg. Thicker parts of the crust are usually huge land masses called continents. Most of the thinner parts make up the sea floor under oceans and seas. Both parts of the crust contain different landforms. Alright, so let's talk about that for a second. Whoops. So what just fell off was the crust of the earth. Mateo, would you like to feel the crust?
Yeah.
Alright. Follow my hand. So this is the crust. Do you want to take it off? Oop, right here, just this part. Feel where my hand is. Let's take it off. Alright, Mateo's got the crust of the earth. So that's where all the landforms are, like the continents and the sea floor. Alright, Matthew, you're going to take off the mantle. You want to take the mantle off, Matthew? Feel how it's missing the crust? You can feel all the continents on the crust on the other side, and the mantle, what do you
Well,
feel?
what's this part?
That's the mantle.
The macula.
The mantle, which is like the white of the egg, is made up of weak rocks.
And is that what that part is so
Yep, the tectonic plates. Let's lift off the mantle. You hang on to that, and then after we'll put the earth back together. It's like a puzzle.
Wow.
All right, Ethan, are you ready? You're gonna be taking off the inner core.
Wait, can I feel it?
Yep.
How the mantle is taken off?
We're missing the crust is on the outside. You feel behind.
Are we feeling Earth's crust right
You've
now?
got the mantle. Mateo's got the crust, and Ethan's taking off the inner core.
I want to know what the inner
There you
core feels
go.
like. I want to know what it feels
Alright.
like without the mantle.
All right, now I'm taking out the outer core.
I wanted to feel what it was like with both cores in though, but without the.
We'll put it back together. And then the earth's core. So how many pieces do we have?
5.
Yeah, I've got 2 in my hand. Ethan has 1. Matthew has 1, and Mateo has another. So let's put them back together. I'm putting the earth's core back in. You guys all want to feel the core?
I want to feel what it was like without the crust, without the mantle.
All right, here you go. You feel it.
What's this?
That's the core. I just put it back.
That's cool. What's he doing?
Oh, thank you. All right, do you mind going and sitting by Jason's desk? We're in the middle of the lesson.
What is
Thank you. Oh, but that doesn't work, does it? Because we need to put the other pieces back first, Matthew.
I wanted to do the
So
rest.
I'm gonna put the outer core on over the,
What does that
the
feel like?
core. Here, go ahead and feel how it's growing. We're almost done, boys.
I thought this was so we can visit.
We're almost done. All right, Ethan, do you want to put the inner core back on?
I wanted to put the inner core back good.
It's gonna go over here. There we go. Nice job. We're almost done. We almost put the earth back together. All right, Matthew, you're next with the mantle. Mateo, are you ready?
Yeah.
Ow, just burned myself. No.
Ooh, because it's so hot.
Yeah, I was just trying to make
All
a
right,
joke.
complete the earth, Mateo. We need you. Complete the earth.
I will.
You did it.
I burned
The
myself.
earth is back
touching
together.
the mantle. I'm like, ow.
Nice job, boys. All right, so I think that's all the time that we have for this lesson.
So I'm gonna turn it. Ooh.
But let's talk a little bit about what we did today. What did we learn about?
Interstate?
Interstates and Interstate 90.
Yeah.
And then we learned about the earth, the inside of the earth. Next class, we're going to be reading page 7, 8, and 9.
I thought it was 8. Oh.
Yep, and we're going to learn more about the earth and how different landforms are formed. We're going to.
So interested in
Yeah.
this so
Oh, I'm so excited.
far. I don't know why I was just so
All right.
interested.
And then after that, we're going to read the rest of the book and take our post test and see what we learned.
Wait,
Alright.
maybe the post test with the questions.
The post test are the questions. So thank you, boys.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's okay